You, on your feet.
What's going on?
You're being relocated.
What? Where? Relocated, he said, not released.
Keep your mouth shut and come along. Don't give us any trouble.
Us. Too many guards for me to have much chance of escape. I'll have to go along with them. My training has taught me that in a captive situation, biding your time and waiting for a better opportunity can be a mistake. You are already in a weaker position. Any time that you spend to strengthen yourself, your enemies can spend as well, and more effectively. Surprise may be the only advantage available. But my safety is not my only concern. There's Oscar and Callum. If I trust him, if I believe in him, then I have to believe that he is planning something. And so I walk quietly through the palace halls escorted by the guards. The back halls, that is. As much as possible, they are trying to keep me out of sight. At last, they bring me through into an unoccupied guest room? Looks like Farad's room almost.
You'll be staying here for now.
I see.
Look, I don't want any part of this, you hear?
Any part of what?
I never did you no harm, right?
Right?
Then we'll leave it there.
Is he warning me that something is about to happen that he doesn't want to be responsible for?
If you have any requests, let us know.
I hope he doesn't mean any last requests. Oh dear.
But nothing funny, right? I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know who you really are. With all the guests, I'm not taking chances. So you stay quiet and we'll get along fine, right?
He seems to be waiting for some acknowledgement, as if I were once more of far higher status than he. Perhaps I am. Better to keep him thinking along those lines, at least. I draw myself up and nod sharply, causing him to straighten in return.
Your meal will be brought up shortly.
And he leaves. Okay. I am alone, in a comfortable room, and safe. At least for now. Cautiously, I test the doorknob. Locked. I am still a prisoner. But now I am a prisoner with access to luxury. Carpet, soft cushions, water. It might not last, so better not to waste it. I hurry to make use of the bath. Bathing dots. After I have cleaned myself up a bit and returned to the front room of my new prison, I find a meal waiting for me. Fresh bread, fish, stew that might have been warm if I had been present for its delivery. There are even a few bites of baked spice apple. Certainly no hardship here. No hardship, that is, except for the uncertainty. I have no more information about current events than I did before, and little more to occupy myself with. These rooms may be intended to hold me, but they are far less secure than the dungeons below. I could easily bypass the locked door, if not for the guard behind it. More promisingly, there are no bars on the windows here. I would not like to risk the walls in broad daylight with no equipment, but should I need to make a rapid exit, the option is available. Callum promised he would return, or at least send a message. I can wait until nightfall. If there have been no developments by then, I can look for more information on my own. I eat, and I sit, and I think, and time passes. Time dots. It is some hours later, but still long before dark, when I hear a disturbance outside my door.
Business. Prisoner. Watch her. Don't let her.
That sounds like it could be trouble. Flee now, or submit, or prepare to fight. My daggers are gone, but there are always weapons to be found for the resourceful. No time. I step to the side as the door opens, positioning myself where I won't be expected. Callum! Yeah. Callum! Madeleine Valois. He closes the door behind him. I trust your new environment is more comfortable. Yes, but what's going on? Why am I here? As you suggested, I pushed my way through to Cassidy's chambers. It would not have been possible if she had not heard the noise outside and opened her own door. She is still under guard. She was distressed to discover that once again our parents had discarded truth and arranged matters as they saw fit. Cassidy insisted on an audience with them at once. And this was the result, a partial reprieve. They will not alter their public sentencing, but in private they agree there is no reason to punish you. I am still officially a traitor then. That's no reprieve at all. Yeah. Why are they doing this? I was not there. You would do better to ask those questions of my sister. Is she coming here? I was hoping that you could come to us to avoid the notice of the guards. You have certain talents, as I recall. Would you be able to reach my quarters from here by way of the windows? It would be easier if I had my special gloves, but if you can direct me, I believe I can reach you. But if the guards come in while I'm away, that could be hard to explain. Wait until after the evening meal if you're concerned. They should have no further reason to disturb you. After Cassidy's orders, I doubt there will be trouble, but we all have much to discuss. My sister will be there, as well as Miss Orpha. Yes, where is your new shadow? Outside with the guards. I told them to hold her there. I'm not leaving her loose. I still don't know what she'd do. And yet he is letting her out of his sight to visit me. What do the guards think you're doing in here? What? You've requested privacy to be alone with a prisoner. Do they believe that you are here to interrogate me? A gentle wash of color sparks across his face. Oh, brother. Well, I'm not sure that now is the best time. That's not what I meant. I was asking if you were supposed to be torturing me, if you wanted me to scream for you. It's just getting worse. The amused look in his eyes grows stronger. Oh, just forget I said anything. I would prefer to remember. This lies between us, doesn't it? You and I. There are many things between us, my lord. I'm no one's lord. I have no desire to become one. I should be clear with you. I am not entirely without experience in these matters. There are women who do not care where they find their pleasures, and I have not been one to care either. My life was my quest and my revenge. I have been so focused on that goal, on my lost brother, that I saw nothing else. And all of that was a chase for a phantom star. If I had trusted anyone, if I had listened, I might have changed course long ago. You had your reasons. Your parents didn't deserve your trust. No, they did not. But that is not the issue at the moment. They are not the ones I wish now to believe in. There has never been, in my life, a woman who fascinates me the way that you do. Wow. He lifts one hand to brush aside the hair that dangles beside my face. Only the barest tip of his finger grazes my cheek, but the entire of my body resonates with his nearness. Beautiful, clever, and fierce. You have been everything I could ask for, and more. Suddenly his expression turns dark. Of course, you have a prior obligation. Your prince. You care for him, don't you? You said it yourself. You would do anything to protect him. Oscar? Of course I care about him. But I married him in another life, so you don't have to worry about that. He's like family to me. More than my own ever was. There's nothing romantic between us. At least not anymore. It's the truth, despite Oscar wishing for it to be otherwise. He is not my lover, and never will be. My obligations are to myself. I see. Then, what I wish to say... He turns away. This is not the time. The guards await. I should go. Excuse me, sir. We're not done here. Don't go. We're not finished here. If there's something you want to say, then say it. That would not be wise. Why not? Do you know how difficult it is to stand in this room with you, alone, and not touch you? Touch me. I won't break. I might. Oh my goodness, this guy. He's a much better poet than, Oscar. He's so romantic, my goodness. I'd had no idea. But he stays. Oh, so close. Step by deliberate step, I approach his blushing face. I lay my hand upon his chest. Please. Ooh. Ugh. A pain noise at the back of his throat, and his mouth opens, and then he is kissing me again. This isn't like before. This is faster, rougher. His tongue drives into my mouth, rasping over my teeth. His powerful hands close on my arms, pulling me into him. I can feel the muscles of his chest, hard and tight against me. Oh. A few stumbling steps, and there's a wall behind my back. My heart is beating so hard that I can feel it in my fingertips. I cling to Callum's shoulders, my lips capturing his, as his thigh presses insistently between my legs. Whew, wow, this is a spicy scene. Oof. And then, with a growl, he wrenches himself away. This is not the time. I'm too busy trying to catch my breath to answer with more than a look. Madeleine, please. I want... His color remains high. I know what he wants. I want more than just one afternoon. There's so much left to do. You need to talk to Cassidy. You need to climb. That fact lands between us with a cold spray. Right. I will not risk you for a single moment. That's really my choice to make, but you're right. Not that I was intending to... I don't know what I was intending to. My knees are shaking. I need to get myself under control. If I tried to scale a wall like this, I would be in trouble. After the evening meal, then. To talk, I mean. Until then. Yeah, after he exits, I lean against the door with a sigh. My face is still tingling where the rough texture of his chin scraped against it. What am I doing? The things that Callum said. The things that he's done before with other women. Does he think that I have? Do I want him to think that? He respects me as a thinker and a fighter, a person like himself. And what woman doesn't want to seem wise and all-knowing? I close my eyes and take a deep breath. I have to put this aside for now. I will be calm. I am calm. Whatever is building between us will have to wait for another time. I can only hope that by then I will have made a firm decision. My priority now is to prepare myself. I must wait and be ready so that after the guards deliver my food, I can make my exit. Right. Chapter 6A, The Conclave. It's a good time to drink some water, I think. The last rays of the sun find me perched precariously upon a wall, inching my way from stone to stone. I ate only sparingly of my evening meal, so that the food would not weigh me down. A full belly can dull the reflexes as badly as hunger pangs. However, no prisoner making a desperate break for freedom would leave behind supplies. If the guards do feel the need to peer inside their trap, that should dissuade suspicion. With the protection of both Callum and Cassidy, I should not be in any great danger, even if my wanderings are noticed. Assuming, of course, that I am not walking into a trap. Should anyone desire an excuse to have me executed, catching me breaking into the rooms of a member of the royal family would be an excellent choice. If I distract myself too much with possibilities, I won't need betrayal to bring me to a painful end. One handhold at a time. Focus on the climbing at hand. With Callum's directions in mind, I find the proper window easily enough. A quiet knock, followed by his coded response, and I know that it is safe to enter. Oh. Madeleine! She rushes up and seizes my hands enthusiastically. It's so good to see you're all right. It is a pleasure to see you again as well, Your Highness. There's no reason to be formal, not after the way my family's treated you. It's simply terrible. I can't imagine why they would ever do such a thing. They should have been grateful to you. But everything's all right now, isn't it? I told them to take care of you. Well, they've certainly treated me with more care than they were before. But I couldn't say that everything is all right. What's the matter? Is there something you need? As long as the story still stands that I betrayed my prince, I will be in trouble when we return to Ascendaware. Well, that's simple enough. Stay here longer. No, I do see your problem. I'll have to think about that. For my part, I would be happy to have your company here for any length of time. Yours and Oscar's both. Well, I suppose he doesn't want to see me anymore. Why would you think that? I want to encourage her to be interested in Oscar. It's a good sign that she seems concerned, but it won't help if some problem is developing between them. Because he doesn't... I mean, he hasn't. I haven't seen him since... Oh, that's a relief. Not a real problem, just a lack of reassurances. My lady, you have been under guard. That is enough to discourage most visitors. Even your brother needed a bit of luck to reach you, didn't he? The guards only kept out those whom I don't tell them to let in. But would Oscar know that? After everything that's happened and seeing me thrown into the dungeon for no reason, of course he would be cautious. There's that as well. I failed you. He might be angry. That part is true to some extent. Oscar did say he had no desire to remain in Guelinor after such treachery, but it wasn't your fault. You didn't order any of this. And now that you know, you're trying to set it right. All you have to do is tell him that. My prince could never remain angry with a kind and generous young woman such as yourself. Oh, now you're flattering me. If we've reached the pleasantries, it must be time to rejoin the others. I know that Callum will be happy to see you. Wink, wink. What has he told her about me? Cassidy takes me by the hand and guides me through Callum's quarters. While he spoke of being largely neglected by his parents, his rooms appear well appointed. A scattering of mysterious parchment scribblings and metal wangles speak to his hobby of clockworks. Books as well, though there is no way to tell if they are considered his personal possessions or the castle's. And then the man himself. No difficulties, then? Nothing I couldn't handle. Naturally. Well, we are all together again. I think we have many things to talk about. Dolores isn't worth it. Go ahead, Cassidy. I think you should start. I've seen little of what's been happening. Well, we've all done things for complicated reasons. Sometimes the actions that we take don't have the consequences that we intended. If I can forgive my brother for the confusion and the harm that he caused, and forgive my parents for the damage they've done to us both in order to keep me safe, then I can forgive Dolores as well. After all, she did try to protect me. Kidnapping you was not an unintended consequence. No, but hurting me wasn't what she wanted. Was it, Dolores? I'll get no kicks for that. She wanted money, nothing more. There's nothing noble in stealing from your betters. Betters, ha! Sure, I'm nothing noble. I've got no family. I'm a dog from the streets. That doesn't make anyone here better than me. She jabs a finger in my direction with a gesture that's almost vulgar. You wanted to know how I could possibly betray the masters who've done so much for me? That's exactly why. All I've heard since I've been here is how grateful I ought to be. Grateful for carrying the slops of my betters while they laugh. You were a page, not a chambermaid. That's the gist of it. I'm not good enough for a page's duties. Well, it's true. A page is usually a child from a noble family, or a gentle household of money and status. Dolores doesn't have the education or the manners. I'm surprised she's even literate, although she must have been in order to leave Callum a note after kidnapping Cassidy. And if she lacks the skills of a page, the Master of Squires would never have allowed her to advance. So they assigned you to lesser tasks, things that you think you should be better than. No! I'd have been better off if I were a chambermaid. You must have been very lonely. That seems to freeze her in her tracks. Dolores opens her mouth, then hangs her head and says nothing. None of this explains our father's actions. A street orphan, assigned as a page, A known traitor promoted to royal service rather than punished as she deserves. I keep telling you I don't know anything. Father said that it was a matter of family honor, that a wrong had been done in the past and we had to make it right. That's why they refuse to see Dolores punished. They don't wish to do her any more harm. What harm could the Crown of Guelinor have done to you? Bringing me to the palace in the first place? I don't believe they see it that way. They were trying to help you. Help me. It's ridiculous. Maybe it has something to do with your parents. I don't have parents. You didn't fall out of a gooseberry bush. Perhaps your parents died in some way that the royal family feels responsible for. Me and every other dog in the kingdom. There is another possibility. Your parentage is unknown to you, not necessarily to others. So what? For my royal father to react so swiftly with lies and misdirection, even threatening a foreign prince and his entourage. He's protecting you as if you were his own daughter. Silence falls. Even a bastard daughter would be worth more to him than another son. A king's daughter? It wouldn't make any difference. It's your mother that you'd inherit from. Inherit? Don't you see what this means? We could be sisters! No, we couldn't. Even if we shared blood, and that's an if, it wouldn't make you kin to me. Dolores, lighten up a bit, will ya? As it stands, there's no reason to believe that it's true. It would make a certain degree of sense. Rather than raising some nameless orphan from the streets, the king would be acting to preserve his own blood. We kind of went through this a little bit with Nazagi, but we never did find out if Dolores was Cassidy's half-sister or not. I wonder. Maybe we'll find out this time. If the mother were common, anything more than a high servant's position for the child would be inappropriate. And of course he would not wish to see her executed, so he would act to protect her at my expense. And yet, if Dolores is King Friedrich's daughter and he knows it, why was she abandoned to an orphanage to begin with? The matter could have been more easily handled while she was an infant. A sense of guilt for betraying his wife, leading him to abandon the child and its mother? And then, years later, ashamed at his poor choice and attempting to make matters right? But while it is an idea that fits the shape of affairs, that doesn't make it truth. It is only an idea. Still, perhaps it would be wise to be less antagonistic towards Dolores just in case. Oh. Right, okay. I'll try to keep that in mind. But if it is, or she's telling the truth about not knowing, then she might not be involved in any conspiracy. Course not. And if that's so, who is behind that assassin? And what are the king and the wisdom doing about it? Oops. For a moment, no one speaks. Cassidy? What? I have no idea what our parents' plans might be. They rarely confide such things in me. Oh, I don't know either. I mean, I have guards. Where are your guards now? Waiting in the hall outside. I'm safe enough with Callum here, aren't I? If I can get in without the guards catching me... Only because I let you in. True. Still, if the guards are meant to be hunting assassins, I could be in danger when moving around. It would help to know their plans, and we need to find out who's behind it for your safety. I'm sorry, I don't know about any plans. I don't know either, not that you asked. You did tell them about the assassination attempt, didn't you? The siblings exchange questioning looks that fade into concern. I'm not really sure. Everything happened so quickly. As usual, they had little time to hear my version of events. So it's possible that they don't even know. Just how much danger is Cassidy in? Oscar might have told them. We were separated. We should go to him. We can visit and find out what information he gave to our parents. And Madeleine? If they leave these rooms, I can't follow them. The guards would see me. Dolores can keep her company, won't you?
If you say so.
Callum catches my eye for a moment, then nods. It takes no words to understand. He's asking me to keep an eye on Dolores. He still doesn't trust her. But he does trust me. Please tell Oscar that I'm all right. I will. With that said, the prince and princess slip away, leaving me alone with Dolores. Yay!